Battlefield 6's free-to-play Battle Royale mode has finally been announced and released. REDSEC features its very own map set on the devastated coast of California. And while the fundamentals of Battlefield shine through here, it's also a very distinct and separate competitive experience compared to the normal multiplayer modes. We're here to break down these 18 essential tips to help you get the win in Battlefield REDSEC.
Enemy hitters will think twice when you're on the battlefield.
Let's start where all matches of REDSEC start: class selection. The 4 classic Battlefield classes are present here, and while they're all useful, when you're getting started we would suggest choosing Engineer and Recon over the other two. Here's what sets them apart. You can use the Recon's motion detector to figure out where nearby enemies are when you hear footsteps, and their drone is equipped with thermal vision, making it an excellent tool to scout out a new area, check to see if it's safe nearby, or plan an ambush on an unsuspecting team. The Engineer's repair tool is made more useful in this mode thanks to the inclusion of locked safes around the map that can only be opened with this tool. These safes usually contain anti-vehicle equipment, higher tier weapons, and intel cases. Vehicles are also a bit harder to find and easier to destroy in REDSEC, so keeping them healed up with a repair tool is even more essential than in multiplayer. There are more than 20 points of interest on the map that you can visit, and it's a lot when you're just getting started. Here's a quick rundown of what you can expect from where. Golf course and downtown are the hot drops of REDSEC, and you should only land there if you're looking for an early scrap with a bunch of enemy teams. Boutique District, near downtown, is a solid option that's far enough away from downtown that you won't always find yourself in an early game fight, and it's large enough that you can reliably loot up and get prepared for the battles ahead. Chemical storage is a solid location that isn't too hot at the start, with plenty of loot inside the various warehouses, lots of verticality and cover. The surroundings of Golf Course are very exposed and open, as are the areas surrounding it like Vista Hills, Crash Site, and Ground Zero. Keep this in mind if you want to engage in more long-range fights, or if you're limited to short-range weaponry. If you're looking for a safer drop spot, look to places on the edge of the map like the Seal, the Marina, and Area 22B. But because these areas are close to the edge of the map usually, they'll be the first to get eaten up by the circle as it encroaches, so make sure you keep it quick in these locations. When you get boots on the ground, your first priority should be finding a gun. You'll always find one in a chest when you open it up. Do not engage in fights with a pistol as your only weapon, unless you absolutely have to. Your second priority should be armor, which can be found in most chests. Always armor up the second you collect your first armor plate, so that you're at max armor from the get-go. You will frequently find gunsmith kits on the ground that you can pick up, but it's not entirely clear how to use these at first. If you're holding a weapon of a certain type that matches a gunsmith kit you're holding, these arrows under your health bar will start glowing. Open your inventory, hover over the eligible weapon, and press the upgrade button to increase the rarity of your gun. You'll then be offered 2 choices of attachment groups to choose from. There are a bunch of ways to optimize your movement and navigation, which is important at all times during a match. If you're running and don't think you'll be fighting soon, you can pull your knife out by holding your melee button down, which then lets you run faster. You can use the knife at any time to break fences quickly, and also garage doors with enough repeated strikes. You can run straight at a door to bash it open, through a glass window to break it without losing momentum, and mantle straight through windows too. Finally, if you want to stop hearing your knees creak every time you take a fall, press the jump button as you land to execute a combat roll. Running in this game is very loud. It's really easy to pinpoint the sound of other players running nearby. So try to only sprint in situations where you are trying to escape something, need to quickly get across an open field, or if you're on a tight time limit. If you believe you're near enemies, you'll be better off walking, crouching, or even crouch sprinting, as these are all much quieter actions. Just like normal Battlefield, it's important to make good use of your spotting key to mark enemies that you can see. This tracks them on the map and in your field of view in real time for a few seconds, making it easier for you and your team to keep tabs on them. If you down an enemy player, you can finish them off by just shooting them more, but you can also run up to them and use your melee weapon for a takedown, which will immediately reveal the location of their other squad members to your whole team. If it's safe to do so, you should always go for the takedown. Across the whole map, you'll find various vehicles that you can open the backs of to get some targeted bits of loot. You'll reliably find certain equipment in each one depending on which vehicles you are opening. Ambulances always hold defibs and armor plates. Demolition trucks usually hold anti-vehicle equipment. Police vans and orange defense vans will carry basic weapons and armor as well. The tan military vehicles reliably offer you a weapon, and it's usually a higher tier weapon at that, so keep an eye out for those too. Some areas have hidden or out of the way loot locations that hold a special golden weapon. The two that I've found so far are in the Seal, inside this air duct, and also at Security Gate, on top of the, well, Security Gate. Let us know in the comments if you find any other golden weapon locations around the map as you play. Not long after dropping, you'll be presented a group of nearby missions to complete that offer a variety of rewards for you. You can see what rewards are on offer as part of the mission screen. You can earn things like UAV and airstrike consumables, superior weapons, custom weapon drops, and vehicle keycards. These rewards are visible on the map to most other players once you earn them, so be wary when your rewards drop, as others nearby may use this opportunity to strike or take your loot. If you wait for a minute or two after a group of missions is presented to you, you might be offered a new counter mission. This is a task that pits you directly against other players trying to complete their own missions. You win your counter mission by foiling the other player's objective or by killing the other players outright, and you're helped along with this task by being shown the enemy position while the counter mission is active. These counter missions usually offer great rewards to offset the increased risk of almost guaranteeing that you'll get in a fight. If you're picking missions and don't want to be at risk of being countered, look for missions that don't include the PvP risk tag under the heading. Conversely, if you're reaching for a fight, activating a counter mission is a surefire way to make it happen. Once you enter the mid to late game and there are less teams around, missions you accept are more likely to be counter-picked due to there being less players to take the heat. Use this knowledge of the system to curate your matches. Occasionally, you may come across items in the world that you can't pick up or interact with that you may recognize from when you completed your own missions in the past. These will be items relating to missions that other teams have currently activated, which means you now know that an enemy team will be arriving soon to find exactly what you're looking at. You can use these opportunities to get the drop on players, as they won't have advance notice of your presence if you hide yourself nearby, ready to strike. Something to keep in mind is that dead players won't necessarily stay dead in REDSEC. At the start of a round, every player starts with a second chance, allowing them to come back for free after a small delay. So even if you've cleared an area of enemies, keep listening for the parachute sound above or the announcer telling you that people are dropping in nearby so that you're not caught unawares. Also, players can be redeployed by their teammates by using redeploy beacons. Walking over to a beacon and activating it will start a timer, and you need to stay in the circle on the ground until the beacon charges up to bring your squad back in. The beacon is really loud when it's charging, and will show up on the map too, so be ready for enemy teams to arrive if you start the process. In each class loadout screen, when investigated more thoroughly, you'll see each class is equipped with an improvised Thermite charge that can be used on enemy vehicles. This is something that every player has access to in REDSEC, and it allows you to, if you get close enough, set a charge that will damage enemy vehicles over time. It can be very risky to be that close to an enemy armored vehicle, and once the charge goes off, you'll be vulnerable to counterattack. But if you're missing anti-vehicle equipment and you need to damage the vehicles somehow, this option is for you. Unlike other Battle Royales, in this game the circle will instantly down you if you come into contact with it. There's no room to survive in the circle in the early game or flank outside the zone. The space you have is all there is, so when you see the warning on screen showing you how close it is, make sure to respect it. If you're not playing Recon but you want to spot enemies more easily in the distance, or when the zone's closing in, you can use the goggles that you bring out whenever you call in an airstrike to survey the area. Seeing through the brush and getting the drop on an enemy before they know you're there can be more valuable than using the airstrike itself. Just be aware that the enemy can see a red laser designator from the goggles when you're using them. So if you think you've been seen, you probably have been. That should be more than enough to help you get you started and on your way to victory in REDSEC. For more on REDSEC and Battlefield 6, check out our wiki for weapon, vehicle, and Battle Royale tips. And for all other things gaming, keep it here on IGN.